Hello, good afternoon. I am live from the kitchen table. Where are you joining me from? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's Sunday and it's time for me to service you. First person to pop up is Christina Alexandrova. What a gorgeous name, Christina. How are we all? It is Sunday. It's the 2nd of May. Can you believe that we're already in May? Hello, good afternoon, Adam Marler. How are you, my darling? How are we all today? My absolute apologies. I'm trying to find the Sunday service. Here it is. My absolute apologies that I had to cut Nighttime with Nelly short on Wednesday. I just went downhill fast. I really went downhill fast. I wasn't feeling too clever. And then during Nighttime with Nelly, I started shivering and shaking and I had a temperature. And I started the show with one nostril. Half an hour in, I had no nostrils. So I had to get myself into bed. So my apologies that I had to cut Nighttime with Nelly short. However, today's a new day and let's see how we go. So what we've decided to do is Sunday service today. Any advice I give is purely for entertainment purposes, okay? If you have got any little ones running around your ankles because you're preparing the Sunday roast, then just be aware of strong language. There may be some strong language, but I'll try not to because it's the day of rest and who am I kidding? There will be strong language. Okay, so dear Auntie Nellies, come into the page. Have you got any dear Auntie Nellies? Write into the page and I will read them out. As said, any advice I give is purely for entertainment purposes. There is a truck outside my house and they are waving at me, so I'll wave back. Okay. And if anybody writes on any of your comments with gift, giveaway, competition, prize, winner, it is a scam, so please get that reported. Do not fall for it. Somebody just put, I love your hair. I've had to wash my own hair. I'm back at the hairdressers now once a week for a wash and blow and every 4 weeks for my roots. All booked in, normal services resuming, but I've had to wash my own hair today because I've not been too well the past couple of days. And you know what it's like when you've not been well? You want to change your bed, get fresh bedding on, you've got to wash your hair because you've sweated a bit. But yeah, I've had to wash my own hair and this is what happens when I wash my own hair. This is it. And as the day goes on, I'm not sure whether people will think I actually look like Slash out of Guns N' Roses or Brian May out of Queen. You be the decider. So, also on today's Sunday service, I have had quite a few people writing in and saying, I know you're doing a new thing and bringing flower pots on a live with you. I would love to come on a live with you. So please, when you do your Sunday service, please will you give me the option of coming live. Thank you, Natalie Goddard. Thank you, darling. So, should you want to appear in today's Sunday service and ask me a question, all my advice is purely for entertainment purposes off the cuff, then please, I think there's a little green button somewhere that you can request to be on the live. So I am now allow your viewers to request to join as guest in your broadcast. So Rachel Smith wants to be in the video. So before we start the very first, dear Auntie, we'll see what this lovely flower pot wants to say today. So that's if she's going to join. If not, we'll crack on with the Sunday services. So there we go. So, we're always trying something new. We're always trying to update things. Always trying to get on down with the kids. So let's see if Miss Rachel's going to join us. Hello, Linda Radcliffe. Hi. Hi, Greg Bluff. Hello. Okay, this lady's not joining. Anne Clough says, I am from Florida. And Chrissy Chaput says, I'm from Maine in USA. Dear Auntie Nelly, let's go. My wife is lazy. Oh, heck. She spends most of her time in bed on her phone or sleeping. She doesn't cook or clean. She can't keep a job, and she says she's always too cold to get out of bed. What should I do? Wow. Okay, so when you write into the page, I don't like War and Peace, okay, but I do like a little bit more information. I don't know how long you've been married for, don't know much about your wife, and all she says she's lazy. If she's struggling a little bit with maybe a little bit of anxiety, maybe a little bit of depression, has her mood changed in the pandemic, as most of us have? Most of us have sort of forgot the habit of what was our normal, and we've sort of shrunk into a new kind of habit that isn't normal at all. Hello, Sarah Chadwick in Ramsbottom. So you're saying your wife is lazy, she spends most of her time in bed, on her phone or sleeping, doesn't cook or clean, and she won't get out of bed because she's so cold. Have you thought about putting the heating on? Number one. Number two, have you really thought about sitting down next to your wife and telling her that, you know, you're really concerned about her mental health? Because even though some of us have had to shield and some of us have had to isolate, you know, it's important to ask people how they are. And I think it's so important to ask twice. And I've said this quite a few times as well. So I will have phone calls with my friends, and I'll say, so how are you? And they go, oh yeah, I'm not so bad, Jay. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, or I've been here, I've been there, or I've seen such a body, or have you watched such a thing? And then I'll say, but how are you really? And then they'll go, well, actually. So are you actually asking her why? Are you actually asking how she is? Are you actually pointing out to her that you think she might be struggling a little bit with a bit of depression? Are you doing anything to entice her out of bed? Are you doing anything where you're saying, like, listen, I've made a lovely dinner downstairs, why don't you come down? A bit of change of scenery will do you good. And I know that that can also be a drain on your mental health, but it sounds to me like she's struggling mentally. I don't think for one moment she's lazy, and I really don't like that word lazy when we're having a day where we can't get out of bed, or we're not feeling tickety-boo. You know, we're having a day where we need bed rest, like I did on Thursday. Yesterday I managed, Friday I managed to come downstairs, and then yesterday I felt much better. But yeah, so I think it's about talking to her and finding out exactly what's going on. And also, please do not be afraid to book a telephone consultation with a general practitioner if you can't get her to the doctors. But certainly, don't be throwing words around like lazy. Don't be throwing words around where you feel like she's not doing a bit, because if she is struggling with depression, you're just going to make her feel even more hopeless than she may already feel. So I hope that helps you. That's what you should do. Dear Auntie Nellie, I am a gay woman in my 30s. Oh, if anybody does want to join today's live Sunday service live, then please pop it in the comments, and it will show me that people are wanting to join as a guest, okay? So I'm a gay woman in my 30s, and for some time now, I've been having a relationship with a woman who's married to a man. Oh, we've got an affair here. They don't have, but I can't, they don't have children, but I can't stop feeling guilty. My lover says that she doesn't know what she wants in the future and isn't sure of her sexuality. Oh, she just knows she loves being with me and doesn't want it to stop. I keep hoping that my girlfriend will realise that she wants to be with me and leave her husband of 4 years. But we've been seeing each other now for 2 years and there are no signs of this happening. What should I do? So you've been with this woman for 2 years as girlfriends, but she's actually married and she has been for 4 years and she's not sure of her sexuality, and that's absolutely fine. We don't always have to be put into a box or label things. The problem is you're having an affair with somebody who's married. The sexuality thing really isn't an issue. However, is she experimenting? Is she using you as an experiment? Is she not quite sure whether she likes girls or boys? So she's quite happy with her husband. She's been with him 4 years. They're living together, paying the bills. She may be telling him all sorts behind closed doors, but you might be a little bit of an experiment, like a naughty little secret. If your partner has absolutely no idea what she wants to do with her future, as you said, then I think it's time for you to decide what you want to do with your future. Because whilst we have people in our homes, in our beds, in our lives that are not serving us, then we're keeping the door closed for people to come in who will give us absolutely everything that we're desiring. And because you're writing into the page, you're obviously lacking something. So this person isn't all they're set up to be. And I would say also, do you really want to be in a committed relationship with somebody who isn't trustworthy? Because she's been quite happy to cheat on her husband for 2 years. That's not a bit of an experiment, maybe. That's not maybe a flash in the pan or a mistake. That's her having her cake and eating it. Whilst all the while you're sat at home wondering where on earth you stand. And I don't think that's a nice feeling for anybody, okay? So I want you to absolutely have a final conversation. Don't keep batting around it. Go in with the sledgehammer approach and say, listen, I know that you don't know what you want for your future, and actually your sexuality isn't an issue to me, whether you're bisexual, whether you're gay, you're straight, whatever, however you identify, that's fine. I love you as a person, but I'm not willing to put my future on hold anymore. It's time for me to move on. As much as I love you, I've got to let you go because I love me more. And what you're doing isn't showing me that you love me. So it's time for me to depart. And take some time away from this person. It might be the kick up the arse that the person needs to decide that they may want a future with you. But I'd be very, very wary of going ahead and having a future with somebody who isn't very trustworthy. So I hope that answered your question. Now, I have got somebody who said, oh, Anna Boyce, thank you very much. Yes, they are Colombian roses. Colombian. Okie dokie. So I have got somebody who wants to come live with their Auntie Nelly. So let's see if we can get this person live and do a live Sunday service session with this flower pot. Please, if you do want to come live and you request to come live with me, do not decline my invitation because it's just interrupting the show and it's just falling on its arse otherwise. Good afternoon, Claire Prescott. Hello, Lisa Tomlin. While we're waiting for this person to join us live. If they don't join us live, that's fine. We'll move on to the next Auntie Nelly. Diane Walker says, you look beautiful. God bless you, my sweetheart. I've not quite hit the frizz yet, but there's chance of Brian May appearing at any time during this Sunday service. Okay, the guest has declined, okay, so yeah, please don't waste my time. Don't request to be on the live and then shit yourself, okay? Dear Auntie Nelly, my boyfriend is in Mississippi. I always thought when I was younger, do you remember when you start writing things? I always thought Mississippi was a really, really cool word to spell. Anyway, my boyfriend is in Mississippi right now because he is leaving in a month for the military. Oh, he will be gone for a full year. Next week, he is coming to see me, and I want to do something fun with him so he won't forget about me while he's gone. Oh God, because we won't be able to talk the entire year he is gone. Any tips? Oh my God, bless you, he's going to be gone in the military for a full year and you may not have any contact. Okie dokie, right. So you want to do something incredibly special so that he's not going to he's going to keep thinking about you. Okay, so any tips? Why don't you, that van's back and the waving again, I think they're watching me live, these builders. Why don't you, right, set up a date night? I mean, really, you should be doing something for you, but hey, it is the 21st century, girl power. Why don't you set up a lovely date night that also you can give him something as a gift? I think there's some absolutely fabulous love books that tell the story of your journey as a couple. So you can get all these photos printed out, pop them all in this album, put little captions in, and then what you can do is Jake Arnold has just joined and he's put love the accent. Jake keeps sending me love letters in my inbox. And I've had to decline Jake on more than one occasion because he's a lot younger than me. But Jake, can I just say, my declaration to you is, thank you very much, my darling. It is much appreciated. You made a middle-aged menopausal lady feel, well, just feel quite touched with your messages. Anyway, moving on. So yes, so why don't you get a lovely little photo album, pop your photos in, put little captions in, and then when you're having your lovely dinner together, nice romantic dinner, soft lighting, lovely music, do it something that recreates the memories of all the time you spent together, and that's something he can take away with him. And then when he's got some downtime in the military, he can have a look through the photo album, he can maybe pen you a few letters, maybe you could do some letters that he opens on a monthly basis. So what do you think of that? Is that nice, or is that a bit too, I don't know, I don't think you're asking for what you should do in the bedroom, because we all know what can happen in a bedroom, don't we? But absolutely, I would certainly write a letter for every month he's away that he has to open on a monthly basis, and do a really nice photo album with all your photos in and captions and lovely memories. Okie dokie, somebody has requested to come live with their Auntie Nelly. Let's see if we can bring you on camera. Let's see, it's saying I can let guests onto this live to be broadcast should they expect. So I've pressed the button saying yes, you can come live. Hopefully you'll come live. If not, we will move on to the next Dear Auntie Nelly of Sunday service. This is not going as I expected, but you know what? No show I ever do is ever scripted. It's all off the cuff, and I think that's the joy of the show, isn't it? Don't know what I'm going to read before I read it, so I don't know what I'm going to say before I've said it. And sometimes what comes out of my mouth is just as surprising to me as it is to you. Oh. No, this person's not coming on either. Yeah, the builders just keep driving past and waving, so I'm wondering whether they're watching me live and they think it's highly amusing that they can see me while I'm live and disturb me. Dear Auntie Nelly, my dad and his girlfriend have been together more than 5 years. She started off really nice, and I see my dad most weekends. But after the honeymoon phase, she put off talking to me and practically ignores me. Dad has even spoken to her about it. I said I wanted him to put me first. He agreed he would, but he hasn't done, and the situation has just got worse. I feel so sad about it to the point where I no longer want to go at weekends. I just want him to take my feelings into account and do something just for me. I have done what I've been advised and explained everything to Dad, but he hasn't acted on this. I feel like I'm being put last, even though I'm his only child. Do you know, I've never understood how new partners in a relationship would ever want to be a priority over their children. People's children should and will and should always come first. Always. Anybody out there who thinks that they would take priority over somebody's children, it's just not. I just don't understand how that brain physically works. Okay, these children were there before you was, number one. Can you still see me? Auntie? It gone dark. I think it's going to piss it down. And number two, why would you ever put anybody before, and I mean anybody, before your actual child? I don't get it. I've never done it. I'll never do it. My daughter will be 26 in October. I don't know if I've told you that once before, probably. And nobody and nothing would ever come before my child. So the fact is now, it sounds to me like you're quite an intelligent young lady and you're growing up with morals and manners and dignity. And I think it's absolutely right that you say to Dad, can we please spend a day together? I don't want to come spend the weekend, but how about me and you, just me and you, going out Saturday afternoon, doing a bit of shopping and maybe having a pizza and a catch up? Why can't Dad do this? Why would his girlfriend feel that she needs to be part of his time with his daughter? She needs to take a fucking backseat. She needs to stay in her lane. And that lane isn't the relationship between you and your father. Sounds to me like you've tried to have a relationship with this stepmother, but she's not being very appeasing to you, okay? So I think it is difficult sometimes when our parents take on a new partner and you've got to slot in. Absolutely not. That step person, stepmother, stepfather, should be slotting in to their already existing lifestyle. So before she came along, I'm sure you spent weekends with Dad and it was just you and Dad, and she's come along, and it doesn't sound to me like you've got any jealousy issues, but it does sound to me like she has. So what I would do here is be very honest and open with Dad. I'm just going to put big lights on because it's gone fucking well dark, hasn't it? Hang on. Is that better? Is that better? That's better, isn't it? So, and I can't see comments, it's too dark. So, I would say to Dad, right, I'm not coming again at weekends, but if you want to see me, let me know if you're free Saturday or Sunday, and we can go out, do a bit of shopping, maybe watch a movie, have a bit of pizza and a catch up. Let me know when you're free. So you're not telling Dad you don't want to see him, but what you're saying is you want to see him on your terms, because it's not making you feel comfortable, and none of us should do anything that we feel uncomfortable with. So Dad then can turn around and say, yeah, that would be great, or, well, no, I want you to come here. Well, no, Dad, I don't want to come there because your girlfriend doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable in your own home. Be very honest and open with Dad as to why you no longer want to go, but also be very honest and tell your Dad that you adore him and you don't want to not spend time with him. Spending time with Dad does not mean that you have to spend time with the evil stepmother. Okay? I've just never understood it. I have never understood why your life should have to change with the relationship that you have with your children. I've just never understood it. So, you know, forgive me if I'm wrong. Oh, there we go. That's better, isn't it? The fuck I've done? I must have pressed something when I was trying to bring someone on camera. Bloody better. It went pitch black. I can stick comments now. So there we go. I hope that's okay. Right. There is somebody who wants to come on camera with me. Oh, no, they've declined me. That's fine. Moving on to the next. Dear Antonelli of Sunday service. This is not going as well as it does on Instagram. Instagram, people are ready to join at any point of the ask me anything, and maybe it's something I will no longer do on Facebook because it's not working. Dear Antonelli, I absolutely love you and you're such an inspiration. I need some advice but want to remain anonymous. Everybody who writes into the page is always anonymous, okay? My partner has changed the way he has been with me and his attitude has changed. I love him dearly, but I'm not sure what to do anymore. I'm at my wit's end as he is wasting all his money instead of helping out with bills. Oh, okay. But I don't want to leave him as we have a daughter and I don't want to upset her. I just want things to go back to the way they were 2 years ago when we were so happy. We are engaged, but he sold his ring. Oh, to get money. This has really upset me. Please give me some advice. I really don't know what to do. What the fuck's he spending his money on? I mean, it's all right spending money on bits and not really like, oh, I can't give you any bill money because I've just had my motorbike fixed. Can't give you any bill money because I've just paid for a stag to Benidorm. You know, there's going to be a reason as to why he's not actually tipping up his wage. The fact that he sold his engagement ring, what the fuck is he doing? That to me says there's some deviant behaviour, okay? There is deviant behaviour here, and that is something I'd be really concerned about. And you say that you don't want to actually end the relationship because you'd upset your child. How upset would the child be if people start knocking on the fucking door asking for money? Because it sounds to me like he's got himself into a spot of bother. To sell your actual engagement ring, wedding ring, or a piece of jewellery that is supposed to mean so much to you, there's a fucking problem, Flower. And I want to get to the bottom of that problem now, not later. This is a massive fucking red flag. And I think for one moment, you should never stay in a relationship to keep the child happy, because it will absolutely show them that this is not a healthy relationship. That little girl will grow up thinking that it's all right for mum to run around like a blue-ass fly and pay for everything and put dinner on the table and sell herself short, and dad to just walk in and walk out because that's how relationships are, because that's what you're teaching her. No, it's not. It's supposed to be 50-50. There may be some times where he can't tip his wage up as much as you, and there may be sometimes you can't as much as him, but you've got to show teamwork and you've got to show a union. And it sounds to me like he's having his cake and eating it. He is spending that money on something deviant and you don't know what it is, and I wouldn't want it bringing to my doorstep. So you sit him down and you fucking tell him, I'm really, really suspicious. What the fuck's going on? Don't want it at my door. And if you continue to behave like this and you don't pay 50% of the bills, there's the door and fuck off through it. That's how you protect your daughter and keep your daughter happy. You do not protect your daughter and keep your daughter happy by having someone with deviant behaviour in your home, whoever it is. Absolutely not, because you don't know who's going to be knocking on that door asking for money. Sounds to me like it's something that is going to be a bigger problem should you allow it to happen. Things only ever happen to us in our life that we allow to happen. We allow these things to happen. That's why they happen. So you're allowing this behaviour, and it's not a very good parenting skill to show our offspring, is it? So, there we go. Yep, that's fine. There's nobody requesting to come live. Oh, fuck. What have I done now? Oh, Christ, on a bike. There we go. So we'll move on to the very next Dear Antonelli. Dear Antonelli, I think this one is for Sunday service. Oh, over the past 6 months, my work, mainly my boss and supervisor, has been bullying me. They've been calling me names and setting me up to fail. They've been making slight remarks about me and even about me drinking on the weekend. I reported them to HR and have handed my notice in. But the thing is, my parents will not support me in moving on, and they're trying to keep me in that job, saying whilst I'm under their roof, it's their roof, but I'm nearly 21 and keep feeling that I want to choose to be happy. They don't understand all this. They can focus on is finishing my apprenticeship at the end of the year because of the next year. Your advice would be greatly appreciated. I completely understand where your parents are coming from, number one, because you had a job, you were doing so well in your job, you're only 21 and they want you to have a career from your apprenticeship. I get that. So we can't actually say that your parents are dicks, because they want you to be working towards a career for a brighter future for you. That's fine. I'm so pleased that you went to HR, reported everything. But the thing is, they've won, haven't they? Because you handed your notice in. So you've let these bullies win. What have HR done about that? Why have HR not taken this further? Why have HR not had a disciplinary meeting with all of you in order to stop these side remarks or this bullying? If HR don't deal with this in the workplace, this is going to continue, isn't it? And it doesn't sound like it's a healthy workplace to work in. So there was toxic behaviour and you're removing yourself from that. That's fine. But what are you going to do about your apprenticeship? Are you going to go and do it somewhere else? Is that the career you want to focus on? Be honest and open to your mum and dad. And when you say that your mum and dad don't understand because all you want to do is be happy, you're only a baby still, you're 20, you're not 21 yet. So tell mum and dad what's been happening. Tell them that you really do want to focus on yourself, but you want to do something that makes you happy, and that wasn't making you happy. I would still certainly tell HR that the reason that you gave your notice in is because they haven't dealt with the matter correctly. Had they dealt with the matter correctly, you would still be working there. So I don't think that's a good human resources way of sorting things, because when human resources in the workplace have dealt with the issue, nobody would be handing the notice in unless they're going to bigger and better things. That's what you want for all your employees. When anybody comes to me and says, I want to hand my notice in, I'm like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Where are you going to? It's not an issue, because if they say, oh, well, I'm going to work in Prada in France, fucking brilliant, keep in touch, let me know how it is. I want to have my notice in because I'm not happy. What can we do as an employer to make you happy? Nobody wants an unhappy workforce. If you're not happy in the workplace, you're not going to get the best work out of people. So when you said your advice would be greatly appreciated, don't give up on your apprenticeship. Don't give up on your career. You're only young, and that's going to set you in good stead. And please don't think for one moment that your parents are doing this because they don't want you happy. Your parents are doing this because they've got a lot more wisdom and knowledge, and they know how important it is to have qualifications, especially this day and age. So they want to see you doing your best. They want to see you working and striving towards a career. So I'm sure your parents are supporting you. They just aren't sure as to why you so freely want to hand the towel in. But absolutely, you know, you've handed your notice in, and if that's your decision, that's fine, stick by it. But I don't think HR at that company are very good. Dear Antonelli, for Sunday's service, how do I tell a friend that the new business she started is just another cosmetics pyramid scheme? Pyramid? I want to support her with everything she does, but I know these pyramid schemes are designed to take advantage of her and make her lose money instead of earning. All right, okay. I'm scared if I tell her that she's going to get upset and accuse me of not being supported, but I don't want to be exploited by this MLM company. Thank you. Okay, so how do you know that she's going to lose money instead of earn it? Have you got experience? Maybe she's a single mum at home and she wants to do something in her free time. Maybe she wants to do something of an evening with babies are in bed, such as your Body Shop ladies, or the Unique ladies, or your Juice Plus ladies. There's lots of people out there that start selling online. And maybe she may lose a little bit of money at first because she may have to pay to buy the products in order to showcase it. But hopefully, some of her friends online may purchase some of her stuff online and she may make a little bit of commission. Rather than being afraid for her, try and help her and support her. I don't think for 1 minute you pointing that out to her will make her fall out with you. All she can do is say, oh God, and how much have you had to pay for that? Will you get that back? Will the company give you the money back? Or how are you doing with your earnings? Let's have a look what it is that you do. And if it's not for you, did you say cosmetics? You know, buy an eyeliner, buy a lipstick, buy a mascara, just do something that supports your friend. They will find out themselves if it's something that's not going to be profitable or fruitful. But I certainly wouldn't have the fear of God inside you, or put the fear of God inside your friend. Let her get on with it and see if she can make a bit of a living of it. I think what these people do is, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but they sort of like say, right, I am a representative, and if you want to work for me, I'll show you what to do. And then this representative has people working with them, and then whatever their commission is, they take that commission and give them something like that. So, you know, just ask her all the questions and ask her, you know, what you're selling this week, what you're doing, how's it going, how are your sales going? Oh, what's that mascara? Oh, that's really good, I'll give it a share for you. Just try and be as supportive as possible. If she's going to accuse you of asking questions by you putting her down, then it's how you're asking your questions, isn't it? So, you know, don't be going in with a sledgehammer approach. Go in as a friend for conversation. If I had a friend who started doing stuff like that, I'd be asking all sorts. I do interrogate rather than interview. I'd be like, so how much have you had to pay? And then what will you get? And if you sell one mascara, how much will you make? So if that's $29.99 and I buy it, what do you get for that? Oh, well, I get $125. Well, how many mascaras do you have to buy to make back the money that you paid for that? And that's what I'd be saying. So you're asking questions, but you're also putting food for thought in your mind. So don't go in negatively unless you feel there's something, oh God, sounds a bit dodgy. Have you spoken to other people who are selling these cosmetics? How are they doing? And just support your friend. Things are just really tough right now for everybody. So let's do what we can, spread the love about, help people where we can. And if you can buy somebody's lip gloss or somebody's mascara, if you can afford to, then do it. You know, you're helping a single mum maybe put a pack of cornflakes in cupboard. You know, support people, support small businesses, support your friends and family, support them where you can. And that's what I'll just say about that. Anybody want to come live with their Auntie Nelly? No, that's fine. It's not going like Instagram. Instagram's absolutely fabulous for that. Hi Nelly, hoping you have some advice for me. Well, I bloody hope so too. My partner and I have been together for 20 years. I don't know why I've done 4, lots of 4s. We've been married for 5. I love him with all my heart. He is my best friend. Around 15 years ago, I felt ready to start a family. But he didn't. We agreed, therefore, he was in charge of contraception going forward. Oh, Christ on a bike. Should you not be in charge of your own contraception? Should you not? Always. How can you trust that other person? 2 years ago, he was finally ready and we started actively trying for a baby. Turns out it's not that simple for us and we've had no success. I turned 40 this year, which means I'm not eligible for NHS help. I'm so angry and resentful towards him for making me wait this long. You obviously can't go back in time. How do we get past this? I am losing the will to carry on. It doesn't feel like life has any purpose for me. If I can't have a family of my own, please help. Okay. When people are struggling to have a baby, and I get these letters day in, day out. If I had 50p for every letter about not being able to conceive, I'd be a billionaire. You do know there's such thing as fostering, adoption, surrogacy, don't you? You do know that, don't you? Because I always think that when people have this desire and this need inside them to be a mother, and they want to be a mother so badly, they forget that there are other options. There are babies out there who have nobody, who would love to be adopted, who would love to be fostered. Okay? So that's my thing. So do not feel that you're at a loss when you've not exhausted every avenue. Number 2, you have got yourself in this situation because you have allowed yourself to be in this situation. You've allowed these 15 years, 20 years to pass with waiting for him to be ready to start a family, and now you're finding things difficult. Have you been to see a general practitioner? Have you both had well checks to see who's the problem? Is there a problem? It can take people longer than 2 years to get pregnant. That's number 2. It is never anybody else's responsibility for contraception. It is always your responsibility. Always. Bottom line, I couldn't give a fuck. If you're in a happy marriage, you know, you're not fucking about or whatever, you're on the pill, you know, it still can happen. The only 100% contraception ever in the world, ever, is wearing Crocs. Let me tell you. You put a pair of Crocs on, ain't nobody gonna fuck you. That's the only thing that's 100% fucking guaranteed. But it should always be your responsibility, whether, you know, you want to wear a femidome, or you want to take the pill, or you want a Mirena coil, or you want the implant. You should always still use a condom if you're sleeping with somebody who you don't know, okay? Because of sexually transmitted infections. You're in a loving relationship. He's took responsibility of the contraception. He's also took responsibility of how your life and your future relationship's going. And you've allowed that to happen. So go and see your general practitioner, see if there's any health problems. Do not rule out adoption. Do not rule out fostering. Do not rule out a surrogacy. Time is not of the essence here. I understand that. You're turning 40. But the sooner you get these things into place, the better. How can you now look at your partner with all this resentment? You can't, you've got to let that go. You've got to forgive, forget and move on. Because even if you do get pregnant, or even if you do adopt or foster or whatever, are you really wanting to bring a child into a life where you look at your partner and you dislike him so much because he's made you wait all this time? So you've got to have a healthy relationship in order to bring the child into it. So you need to sort your fucking shit out. End of chat. Sort your shit out. Forgive, forget, let it go. Pat yourself on the back, go, fucking hell, I made a mistake there. Wouldn't do that again. But every day is a school day, we learn, don't we? Contraception should always be the individual's responsibility. Go and see your general practitioner, have some well checks, see what the problem is, look into adoption, look into fostering, look into surrogacy. But as for, I hate him for making me wait, you've allowed him to make you wait, so let that shit go and move on from today. Okay? Moving on. Dear Auntie Nelly, I matched with a guy on Tinder. Oh, we've been chatting regularly since January. I'm in my early 40s and divorced with one child. He's the same age. He's also divorced with 2 kids. I really like him, but now I'm nervous as things are opening up and we'll actually maybe have to meet. He keeps asking for me to commit to a date, but the thing is, I'm worried that I'm not going to live up to the person I am online. He has only ever seen pictures of me from the waist up. Oh, God almighty. I suppose conducting a relationship online felt safe, as I knew we wouldn't ever meet up, ever. Oh, so it took the pressure off. He's a really nice guy, and I know that if I keep putting it off, he'll move on or think I'm a catfish and block me. Please help me with the next step. I think the next step here is, and you're absolutely right, meeting someone on Tinder, swiping right, getting them in your WhatsApp, morning messages, good night messages, how's your day going, someone to chat to now and again. It is safe, isn't it? It's a little bit of break from reality, and you've got that someone in your phone, so when your phone flashes up, you no longer feel alone. We all know the song. And it's lovely, and it puts a little bit of a spring in your step, and it's nice to know that somebody thinks of you or wants you. What's happened here is you've allowed that relationship to take you on because you've thought, well, we'll never meet because we're in lockdown. Lockdown's lifted, and now he's saying, I'd like to meet you in real life, and you're thinking, shit, what do you mean? I really like everything we've got here. So what was it you were looking for? A pen friend? Were you looking for a pen friend? Because you're in your 40s, you're not 12. So unless you're wanting a pen friend, then yeah, continue with WhatsApp messages. But nobody wants a pen friend. He does want to meet you in real. So why don't you have a FaceTime date for starters? Do your hair. You're still going to secret waist up. Do your hair, put a bit of slap on, have a glass of wine should you need it, and do a FaceTime, because you haven't done FaceTime yet. And he might be a catfish, for all you fucking know. So before you'd meet anybody in the real world, I would be wanting to do a FaceTime video immediately. Hello, can we FaceTime? Friday night, 8 o'clock, sit at kitchen table, get a glass of wine. Hi, how are you? Talk about your day, see what takeaways do you like, what music you into, what's your genre of music, what do you think would be an ideal first date? Oh, tell me about something funny that happened to you. What quirky personality have you got? Have all these conversations with him on FaceTime. Should that go well, then you do want to put a date in your diary and meet up, maybe of an afternoon, a coffee date. You don't have to go for a big, meal night out and feel really anxious. Maybe meet up for a coffee. See if you do like each other in 3D, 4D. Is it 3D or 4D? Not sure. And take it from there. But absolutely right, he is going to get fed up. If you can't put a date in the diary and you're just a pen friend on WhatsApp, of course they're going to fucking move on, because nobody wants that, do they? So get that FaceTime in the diary first. Can't wait to meet you, but in the meantime, I can't give you a date for now, but can we do a FaceTime? Thursday night, 7 o'clock, boom, get it on. You might do the FaceTime and not like him. He might not like you. He might put off the FaceTime. I doubt he will, because he's chasing you for a date. So get the FaceTime done firstly. And then you could maybe have a few FaceTime. Oh, I'll give you FaceTime tomorrow if you want. Yeah, no problem. And then when you do meet in real life, it won't feel that much like a stranger. And what you're doing as well is you're bringing the pen friend to life. You already probably know quite a bit about him, so conversation isn't going to run dry, is it? You say, oh, you said you were doing such a thing at work, tell me how that went, or how has work been, or how long does it take you to go to work, or where have you been on your holidays? Have that conversation. FaceTime. You've matched with somebody on Tinder, you've got them in your WhatsApp, get that FaceTime in your diary ASAP. If that goes all right, do another FaceTime, but get that meeting done. The first time is going to be nervous, you're going to be anxious, but you know what? You might even have butterflies in your tummy. Life is for the living. Go for it and fucking enjoy it. Somebody wants to come on this live. That was the very last Dear Auntie Nelly of Fund Service. I'm due to go live on Instagram shortly. So let's see if I can bring this flower pot on this live. I hope you've enjoyed today's Dear Auntie Nelly as much as I have. Been quite a mixed bag. And Barocca up my nose. Let's see if this person joins. If they don't, that's fine. Electric washer. Put clothes in the dryer. Have a wee and then get off Instagram. Real good idea, FaceTime. Absolutely, because how do you know who you're speaking to? Who you're speaking to? Huh? FaceTime don't lie. FaceTime doesn't lie. This person is not joining me. Oh, Janet Jackson's watching. Is it the real Janet Jackson? Good morning, Joseph Jaramillo from Albuquerque. Ladies, Mr. Albuquerque has just joined. Woo! How are you, Joseph? How's dating going? How's the dating life going, my darling? There's lots of ladies who watched Joseph on a live with me, on my first ever live I did, bringing flower pots on. And they were obsessed with Mr. Albuquerque, put my teeth in. So hopefully you've had a few little inboxes. People have slid into your DMs. You must let me know about it. You must let me know who's been sliding into your DMs, because I do say that I will review them. I absolutely want to vet the next Mrs. Albuquerque, Joseph. Good morning from New Zealand. Good morning, Michelle Watkins. How are you, Matt? Is it morning in New Zealand? Is it? Or is it like early Sunday morning in New Zealand? I love Sunday, says Amanda Mullins. What you having for your dinner? Hi from Boston, says Cheryl. Jamie Louise is watching. Good afternoon, Nelly from Leigh, Lancashire, says Anne Wright. Good afternoon. Oh, now then, what's that? Oh, no, they've gone. They've gone. Right, there is nobody requesting to come on live with your Auntie Nelly, and that's absolutely fine. Linda McGeechy says, yep, FaceTime is best. It fucking is, isn't it? Jamie Hinn says, hi from Dubai. Don't know if I'd be allowed to go to Dubai. I'd probably get arrested. Okay. Right. So that has been today's Sunday service. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Please give it a like, give it a love, give it a share. And if anybody does comment on your comments with prize, gift, giveaway, competition winner, it's a scam. Any advice I've given on today's show was purely for entertainment purposes. Whatever you do with the rest of the weekend, please have a fabulous bank holiday, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, flower pots, and thank you for all your support.